Hey guys, welcome back to Blue Ridge. Hope you guys are having a great day. So I have a patron that I've been emailing back and forth here throughout most of the day that I wanted to share some information on, and he said it was okay to talk about the topic of choice, and that is the 2019 West Point quarters. Okay, so Jake W. from North Carolina. All right. And in his email, he said, Dear Sean. Okay. Yeah. Dear Sean, thank you for taking time to talk to me about the West Point quarters. I had already gone back and forth a few times. As you know, I have purchased 280 West Point Lowell National Parks, and I am looking to purchase as many, if not more, of the American Memorial Park quarters as well. I feel like that they are at a low enough price point where I could turn this into a future investment opportunity. I intend on buying another 200 or so Lowell National Park quarters, and I'm going to match up with about 400 to 500 American Memorial. And I plan on buying subsequent issues for the rest of 2019 in the same quantities. All right. And originally this had never, we were talking about something else different. And he went on to say, I look to hold these for about 5 years, as I feel like the price will reach $100 per coin by that point because of the low mintage. Okay. I would love to hear your thoughts on this matter. Did I do the right thing? Or will this turn out to be a great investment for me in the future? Sincerely, Jake W. Okay. So that is the email I received, and well, he's already in for 280 pieces of the West Point Lowell quarters that you see here, and it's an interesting email. Some of you that have followed me here in the past week, I had made mention that a certain individual on eBay had sold a big, huge lot of them. I think it was like 450 coins for like $6,400. I don't know if you guys remember that. I even put it in my Monday market report. And at the time, the individual coins were like, I don't know, like $10 to $12 a piece or something, somewhere around that particular price point per coin. And even then, I thought that price point was a little bit too high. And what I wanted to do is discuss the future potential, if there's any, of these coins, because there's a lot of market activity that's being driven today from this program. All right, so there's two factors that are going to go into determining if this has any future value as it sits. Okay, now keep in mind, I'm going to use another coin that has a similar trajectory or parallel as the West Point quarters. All right, and that, of course, is the 1950D Jefferson nickel. And I think it's the most appropriate of coins to kind of compare to, even though there's like a 70-year gap between one and the other. They're both going to follow the same trajectory. Okay, so when the 1950D came out, there was a lot of people collecting coins at that time. Probably more so, as far as the ratio goes, more so then than there is today. Okay, coins isn't as progressive as a hobby as it once was, primarily because we're 2 generations forward from when that time was. There wasn't a huge emphasis on social media and the internet and other various types of interests in the matter of today's youth, or therefore. But Back then, coins with low mintages, okay, the 1950D Jefferson nickel is one great example of a coin in which everybody knew that it would be a low mintage coin before it was even released. So what happened? A lot of these coins were eventually taken out of circulation, like literally a few days after they were minted, and they were commonly hoarded in grades, in mid-state grades, like this example here. As a matter of fact, I picked up about a dozen of these for about $8 a piece. So it kind of gives you an idea of the appreciation of such a coin when they were hoarded at the time of release. Okay, that is the same premise on these West Point quarters. Now, there is only 2 million of them made per design, okay, but that doesn't discount the fact that these coins are not going to see enough circulation, you know, for them to be worth any more than what the current market value is today. So what I wanted to do, I actually hopped on eBay, and I'm going to check out what the current buy rate of the low quarters are, and I'm also going to look at the American Memorial and see where we're at. And then we're going to base off what we think is going to be a future valuation of these coins. So currently, it looks like a lot of the most recent examples are selling between like $18 and $21, which I thought that's where it was going to sit. The biggest price drop or correction, let me change that, correction in the market is for graded examples. Okay, as you guys know, Diggin' Dave, who also has his own YouTube channel, and he and I went back and forth right when he found this coin and got it graded. He ended up selling his example as being the first ever example sold on the secondary market. His was a mid-state 65. For those of you that don't recall, he sold it for $650. Today, one such example sold actually this morning at 10:15. It's the 13th of May, by the way, for about $75 in that same grade. Now, the only difference is that this one has a PCGS label that says early find and not first week of discovery. But enough of them were graded during that first week of discovery period that it really diluted the market of these high grade coins. So as we go on with this program, okay, and as each of the last 3 national park designs are released, okay, we have to keep in mind that there is going to be continual search for these coins as they were being released, okay, as they're being minted, and then like 2 or 3 days later, as these armored car companies and the Fed Reserve banks are filtering them out to their bank of choice, these are going to be pulled out of circulation at such a rapid rate that they're not going to see a lot of circulation. It would be more rare to find a coin of this caliber, one of these West Point quarters, in grades lower than XF. Okay, 5 years from now, the population is going to be skewed so far out of whack that it's going to be more tougher to find coins that are of low grade than there are finding coins that are that mid-state kind of like 64, 65 level. And by the way, those are the coins currently that are selling between $18 and $21. Now, the real big question, and this is for Jake, because he bought his pretty well. He bought his for around $13 a coin. Are you in any danger of losing any more money? Probably not. I think there's going to be a little bit more correction. I can see these coins settling around possibly the $8 to $12 margin. I don't know specifically, you know, again, it really depends on how many more of these are being discovered and then subsequently flipped on eBay. But we have to keep in mind that for years to come, there will be rolls and there will be hordes of these that are in that middle mid-state grade range. Much like the 1950D, here we are 70 years later, and the coin barely appreciates any. Okay, even the higher grade examples, it's really easy to find a mint state 66, which I had, and with full steps, sold it for 60 bucks. Okay, I just flipped that coin to a collector that really wanted it. So what do I see in the future for this? Well, I see a stagnation of the price levels. Okay, we're going to see it for decades to come. If you are paying anything north of $10 per coin, it is not going to be a good investment. And the future specs on these coins is very, very grim. I wouldn't invest unless the price was right. Again, keep in mind, these are clad coins. Aside from the West Point mint mark component of it all, there's really not a whole lot else that would be a big buying factor for these coins. Not even the 2 million mint mark, 2 million mintage for this mint mark would be enough to get me to pull the trigger on any measurable amount of coins. The only possible prospect that I see in this series is picking up graded coins, already graded, for a low level. I think by the time the end of the summer comes, we will see a kind of this valley of sorts in the pricing of like a mid-state 65 quarter, somewhere around $35 to $40, somewhere around there. Because there's still a lot of these that people are sending off to the graders, and the populations are going to be huge. Okay, and there's only so many collectors out there that will want to buy these, because here's another issue that I think not a lot of people think about. Yeah, this is a really great flipping opportunity for a lot of folks who are already collectors and who are dedicated coin roll hunters. All right, I have a feeling that this program, with which it was intended to be functioned, before it was released, to reach out to people who don't collect coins or know anything about it. However, I feel like a rapid rate of these are being pulled out by current and existing collectors and coin roll hunters, that we're going to see less of these out there in circulation for people who are non-collectors to grab a hold of. So that is another issue that I see with the program, is that it's almost like it's almost like a project that's designed for scalpers. It's like, we're gonna throw this out there, and we think it will reach out to the far reaches of the community who don't collect coins, and say get them into buy-in mint product and things like that. And it's like, well, you're going to be talking about probably less than maybe 1 or 2% of the total population of the United States that's actually going to buy into this, because so many of them are being pulled out of circulation by existing collectors and roll hunters that ultimately you're not going to have enough bandwidth of quarters to reach out to those communities that don't have anything to do with coin collecting, and it's going to affect the price even further. So, Jake, buddy, I don't know what to say. I wish you the best, and I hope these things double in value for you, so that way you can get out of them. But even that's going to be a tall ask. To see these things at $40 a coin in 10 years is going to be tough, especially seeing as how a vast majority of these coins are going to be set in a high mint-state kind of grade, that they're not going to be as special. And there's going to be a lot of them. There's going to be a lot of them in the market. And as we continually move on with our lives, there's going to be less and less coin collectors. Okay? As much as this program wants to develop and nurture an organic growth of sorts of new collectors, I think it might be doing the exact opposite. Only because it's not a failure in design or execution of the program. I think it's just, in this day and age of the information age, people know about it who are currently collectors, and they're going to go out and make money off of it. I mean, right? I have a few coins, and I'm not actively looking for these, in case you guys are wondering. Not as much as I was interested the first week that these were released. But all in all, do not invest for long-term spec on this coin. Do not. You would much rather go buy 90% silver because the price of silver is so low right now, but do not invest in this sort of commodity. The 2019 West Point quarters is a great short-term kind of flip, and that's all it is. It's not even an investment. It's not an investment for 10 days, as you go through coin rolls to find these. This is a quick flip to make money. It's a short-term investment. It's almost like a penny stock that goes up 500% in 2 days, and you're like, oh yeah, I gotta sell it right quick because I made $10,000 off $1,000. That's what this program is. Case in point, the guy that sold a buttload of them a week ago, 400 of them. I just pulled up the auction. 400 of them at $6,400. How do you think that affects the market right there? This one. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, it's a slippery slope. As these things come out, you jump on them right away. And if you reach that 10-day point, kind of like the point of no return, because the American Memorial quarters, like right out of the gate, sold for like $100 to $150 raw a piece. And with the way eBay is today, with the whole kind of like return guarantee thing, even if the auction listing says does not accept returns, you can still do a return if the item is not described, which apparently it's really easy. eBay sides with the buyers, not the sellers. So keep that in mind as you sell these, that you are thorough in your listing and the description. That's important. So I hope this all helps. Again, raw quarters, don't invest, even in bulk. If you got them for $1 a piece, who would sell it for that little? But graded coins eventually will be the opportunity in all of this. But keep in mind, the populations are going to be big. So the ascent to the top of the next kind of like peak of these coins for the graded coins will take a while. So, I mean, it's a slow investment vehicle, but I guess it's still an investment vehicle nonetheless. At a low price point, it's less risky. But actual raw coins, I would stay away from because there's just going to be a ton of them that's going to flood the market here in the next 12 months. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. As always, subscribe, hit the bell for instant notifications. I'll be giving away stuff all summer long. Gift cards, silver, coins, you name it. I want to give back to the community starting this year. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you for all the views and support. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care.